Chapter 4, Applications and Problem Solving. To work application problems, we're going to read the problem carefully, once, twice, maybe even 3 times. We're going to draw a picture if possible. We're going to consider some common equations that may be helpful. For instance, the perimeter of a rectangle is twice the length plus twice the width. The area of a rectangle is length times width. And the 3 angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. Complementary angles add up to 90 degrees. Sometimes we have enough information that we need to organize it so we can put it in a table. If possible, that helps. We can decide what variables we want to use, write 2 equations describing the problem, and then solve the system. People usually have a preference. They usually prefer to do substitution or elimination. So we'll try to work these systems using both methods. Sometimes when I look at a problem, one method just kind of stands out for me. The Bronx Zoo charges $15 admission for each adult and $11 for each child. One day, a total of $10,980 was collected from 860 admissions. So let's see if we can come up with some equations for this. We have adults and we have children. We need to find out how many adults were there. Let's call that A. How many children were there? Let's call that C. We have a total of 860 admissions. So the adults plus the children must equal 860. That makes sense. What about, so that's just the number of tickets. What about the money? The adults are going to be charged $15 for every single adult. The children are going to be charged $11 for every single child. And if we add together the money that we make off of the adults, plus the money that we collect from the children, we will get a total of $10,980. That is our system of equations. We have 2 variables, adults and children. We have 2 equations. So how are we going to solve this system? I think that we could best solve this system through the method of elimination. I can't say exactly why. I know I can solve it using elimination or substitution, but for some reason, I want to solve this one using elimination. So I want to eliminate either the A or the C. Which one do I want to eliminate? I think I'll eliminate C. Doesn't matter, I choose C. So I want my C's, I have 11C and 1C. I want my C's to have opposite coefficients. If the second one is plus 11, I want the first one to be minus 11. So I'm going to multiply that first equation by minus 11. That will give me minus 11A minus 11C equals, what is 860 times a negative 11? Negative 9460. So when we add these 2 equations together now, the C's are eliminated. We have 4A equals 10,980 minus 9460, which gives us 1520. Divide both sides by 4. We have that there are 380 adults. If there are 380 adults, how many children are there? Well, we know that the adults plus the children equals 860. That's how many tickets we sold. If 380 of those tickets were adults, how many were children? We're going to take our 860 minus the 380, and we get 480 children. We have to put our answer in a complete sentence. There were 380 adults and 480 children. And that's our answer. Now we have mixture of solutions. Solution A is 30% alcohol. Solution B is 75% alcohol. How much of each should be used in order to make 100 liters of a solution that is 50% alcohol? That's a lot of numbers. I'm going to put these in a table. So I have the percent. I have 30%, that's solution A. Solution B is 75%. How much of each should be used in order to make 100 liters of a 50%? So the result, if you mix the two together, will be 50% alcohol. So how much A and how much B? So the amount of liquid that we have, we'll say A liters of the A liquid and B liters of the B liquid. We will mix those together and we will get 100 liters in our resulting mixture. We talked about before the idea of pure alcohol. If it's 30% alcohol and you have A liters, that liquid is like the of number. The 30% of the liquid is the pure alcohol. So 30% of A is going to be 30 over 100, or 0.30 times A. That's pure alcohol. Liquid B is 75% alcohol, so 0.75, 75 over 100 is 0.75 B. That will be pure alcohol. And we have 50% alcohol. 50% of the 100 liters is pure alcohol. That means 50 liters is pure alcohol in the resulting mixture. We have two equations here, one from each column. If you mix the liquid of A plus the liquid of B, you're going to get a total of 100 liters of liquid. If you take the pure alcohol in the A mixture and add that to the pure alcohol in the B mixture, that will give you the total pure alcohol of 50 liters. Two equations, two unknowns. It's a system of linear equations, so we're going to solve for either A or B. I don't care which way I solve it. Substitution, elimination. We solved the previous example by elimination. Let's try substitution this time. Let's solve that first equation for A. It has a coefficient of 1, so I like it. So 100 minus B is A. And now we're going to take that information and put it into the second equation. So we have 0.30 times 100 minus B plus 0.75 B equals 50. Look at our equation now. We only have B. There's no more A. We got rid of the A through substitution. So now we can solve for B. So 0.30 times 100 is 30, minus 0.30B plus 0.75B equals 50. Look at those like terms. We can combine those, guys. So let's go ahead and subtract 30 from both sides too while we're at it. So that gives us equals 20. And then when we combine these like terms, we get 0.45b. We want to solve for b, so let's divide by 0.45. So we get b equals 20 divided by 0.45. 44.4. It's really 44.44444. Keeps going, but we'll just round it to 44.4. Now, what is A? We know that A is 100 minus B, but now we know that B is 44.4. So A is 100 minus 44.4. So A 55.6. So 55.6 liters of A and 44.4 liters of B. We have to put our answer in a complete sentence. Let's see if we can do that. Let me go back. A is 30% alcohol, B is 75% alcohol. So, in our complete sentence, we will say, we need 55.6 liters of the 30% alcohol solution, and 55.6 liters of the 75% solution. And that's our solution. The Java joint wishes to mix organic Kenyan coffee beans that sell for $7.25 per pound with organic Venezuelan beans that sell for $8.50 per pound in order to form a 50-pound batch of morning blend that sells for $8 per pound. How many pounds of each type of coffee bean should be used to make the blend? A lot of information. Let's make a table. We want to mix the Kenyan. It sells for $7.25 per pound with the Venezuelan. And it sells for $8.50 per pound. We want to make 50 pounds, a 50-pound batch of morning blend. So we want to make that blend. And we've got costs, $7.25, $8.50, so we're going to put $8 here. So everything on this row is all about dollars. How many pounds do we want? We want a 50-pound batch, so 50 pounds of the blend. All right, how many pounds of each type of bean should we use? So let's use K for Kenyan and V for Venezuelan. And we know that if we take the pounds of Kenyan plus the pounds of Venezuelan, we'll get the morning blend, we'll get 50 pounds of it. How about money? We're going to spend some money buying the Kenyan blend. We're going to spend $7.25 for every pound that we use. Plus, we're going to spend $8.50 for every pound that we use of the Venezuelan blend. We will get a mixture that we're going to sell for $8 per pound. How many pounds are there? 50. So 7.25 K plus 8.50 V equals 8 times 50, $400. So that gives us our two equations. 7.25 K plus 8.50 V equals 400, and K plus V equals 50. What do you want to use, substitution or elimination? I'm going to use elimination this time. If you want to use substitution, cut the video off, try using substitution, and then see if we get the same answer. I'm going to multiply both sides of the second equation by negative 7.25. That's the opposite of positive 7.25. That will give me negative 7.25K minus 7.25V equals 7.25, negative 7.25 times 50 is negative 362.5. And we want to add that 7.25K plus 8.50V equals 400. So those are our two equations now. When we add those equations together, the K's are eliminated. So we get 1.25V equals, what is 400 minus 362.5? 37.5. And if we divide both sides by 1.25, we'll get 30. V is 30. We want 30 pounds of the Venezuelan brand. And we know that K plus V equals 50. So how many pounds of the Kenyan brand do we need? K plus 30 equals 50. So K equals 20 pounds. Here, I'll change that to cursive so it's a little easier to see. All right, so we have to write our answer in a complete sentence. We need 20 pounds of Kenyan coffee and 30 pounds of Venezuelan. And that's our answer. That's the end of part A. Go to part B for the next page.